things.
My theory about charity shops next
4 hours.
to Waitrose supermarket extends to Marks and Spencer food halls.
Someone mentioned the fact they didn't want a Waitrose kind of close location charity shop recently.
And I'm not gonna spook you all out, but they're both Barnardo's.
But yeah,
Yes,
wow,
maybe
I didn't even think of that.
Barnardo's targets high-end supermarkets.
That's very clever, though.
Probably not.
Because the one where we were, the Bernardo's we're talking about, which was in, where was it?
Warminster.
That is actually a drop-off destination. What do they call them? Like
donations.
Points. Yeah, exactly that. So maybe so.
Kickers. Austin just picked up a pair of Kickers trainers. Not the most desirable silhouette. You're looking for the boots or like the Mary Janes, anything with that sort of like 90s. Y2K look, that's what you're looking for.
Could they do new versions of like the old school ones, don't they, as well as the vintage ones, which still go for good money?
I think they sell them in like Urban Outfitters and cool kid places like that. I was in the homeware section. I did find this. For anyone who doesn't know, I avidly collect Polly Pockets. I love Polly Pockets. They bring me the greatest joy in life.
This is quite a small one too.
This is tiny. Look, if it's in the palm of my hands, and I got quite small hands. It didn't come with any figures, so it was just an empty clamshell. I would normally pick up any Polly Pocket because I collect. You just Polly like it more, yeah. That wasn't one I need or on my list. I got a Polly Pocket bucket list, and it was £8. So I thought I'd leave it for another collector that needed it for their collection.
When you say it's empty, what do you mean? Like there's no figures and stuff.
Figures or it's not complete. It's
so what you're looking for is one. If you do have like the clam, you say like the actual thing itself, the what do you call it, like the playset thing.
Yeah,
it's got to have the bits and pieces in to be worth more. That's what you're saying, yeah.
Complete. They sell the best complete. But then if you also add additional figures, that would bring good money too.
So that was how much?
Clams do sell really well, but that was a mini one. It was £8. There wasn't enough in it for me, and I didn't need it. Austin found this in the men's section, but it is women's. It's a double XL. It's like a rust orange. I love it. It's like a
like a brownie rust.
Henley style knit. Peruvian collection. You're looking out for those heavy cables. You're looking out for floral prints. Any of those retail was upwards of 200, and the resale is really good too.
They do like those really like long jacket looking, like basically long line cardigans.
Wrap cardigans and things like that. Anyway, that was £20, which is a lot. It's a lot for a Peruvian connection knit. However, they do have great return if you can find them and pick them up for a price you're comfortable with paying for it with your business plan or however you choose to resell.
Do it. Yeah, what you're saying is there's money to be had, but it is what it is.
I found these Lucy and Yak trousers.
These are really nice.
Yeah, you're looking out for the dungarees from Lucy and Yak, although the whole range sells really well. It's that cute label. How cute is it? It's like kawaii cute. They were £20, so we left those. Retail's not far off that, and they're about 40 to 60, I guess.
These are like a drop crotch, even when you say diesel. Like what I call like a sag pant.
Diesel are having a massive resurgence with the Y2K trend with the D logo belts, etc. I haven't been picking it up because I see a lot of menswear. However, I thought it was really cool. The drop crops,
yeah,
£3.50. Yeah,
£3. Sorry, my bad.
That was a toast cord for £30. When I say cord, they were pajamas. But
which coordinate
pajamas that had been loved.
Yeah, fair enough. So we'll leave those.
On this rail, I did, however, find this. It's half price, £5 to £5. It's a Bon Point. Bon Point is a children's wear brand, but it is very, 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 very expensive. So if it's children's wear,
like what's retail? That's the logo there.
Oh, like over touching 200 probably.
And these are only you said it's only children's wear, so they don't do adults.
However, this cardigan was like age like 13 to 14. It didn't have a size in it, but it was much bigger, so a larger child, if that makes sense.
Or you could have a small ladies, or like a petite ladies.
Exactly. They go for about between 50 and 75 depending. I picked loads up last year in TK Maxx in the sale for our small human, and she doesn't like knitwear, so she rejected all of it.
I'm gonna quote, it's too scratchy.
Yes. But so all of ours is new with tags, so I actually dug those out as well. I paid like under £3 for all of the stuff.
Literally, and some of them I think they're mostly wool based, wool blend.
Mohair and
mohair, that's what I mean, mohair and wool blend, yeah.
New with tags. You're looking for that component, the material build up in that kind of stuff, cashmere, etc., etc.
When I was editing this, I saw this in the Harry Potter book. It says that it's a misprint. It just says there it's a misprint. So I don't know. I was just wondering if anyone could shed any light on that. I don't know anything about I know first editions cost more and blah blah blah.
I heard there's I have heard something before about that when back in the day when Ben Fitzgerald was
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, sorry, was knocking around.
We are obviously we're not. We do a few bits and pieces, but we're predominantly with clothing and luxury resellers. So when I say things like that, I'm interested in the kind of facets of reselling. Not necessarily because we do it, but I suppose it's just good to know. It's knowledge bombs, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Well,
so if anyone can shed any light on that, just pop in the comments.
We spend so much time in charity shops. It's nice to show different things and things we see. Because I know not everyone is a clothing seller. I say we're fashion sellers.
Fashion sellers, yeah. Well, when I say clothing, I think it embodies everything though, like shoes, bags. That's all kind of clothing in my opinion. You put it on your body.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But it's even homeware, like fashion and homeware as well. You know, all those trends trickle down, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
When you follow people like Kim K and stuff like that, you want to see where she lives, you want to see what she's driving, you want to see what she's wearing.
So yeah, you're right. I never thought about it that way. But everything she, like, whether you're into or not, everything she has, whether it's a home, a car, a piece of clothing, it's fashionable.
I know what we are.
What?
Lifestyle resellers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I coined that. No one nick it.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Anyway, enough of that. What we got for the racks here? Absolutely nothing. That's what.
I like this one, but they did have a sign on the door that says "desperately seeking donations," which is always
That's not a great start to your trip to the charity shop, is it?
No, we normally always get really good high-end pieces in this one. So obviously, I don't know, is everyone moving out of FROME?
No, but to be fair, also, I think once again, like, I don't know if people are donating clothes like that in January. I do think because a lot of people, depending on your situation, are trying to kind of, recoup funds during January, should we say. I think a lot of people probably go online, whereas they maybe normally, like, donate it if they didn't have time. January, people got a lot of time to do a lot of different things, you know?
Yeah, it's a long old month.
it is, isn't it? And by the same token, a lot of people say February's a short month.
Oh, it's a tiny month, isn't it? It's only like...
But it's not. There's only a couple of days, I suppose. But
Yeah.
people have that impression that it's like, I think after January, and for a lot of people, with if you get your paycheck and whatever else, from that point to that point, it's a long old time.
Psychological.
It is. I think it is totally. But I'm saying, I think for a lot of people, that's the way that they think.
As we head into January, though, I'm still on the knit game, I'm still on the coat game, and I'm still on the trouser route. That's where I'm heading at the moment. So my top tip for anyone who is like starting reselling or is new to reselling and you've just started after Christmas or whatnot, is if you haven't got time, knits, coats, trousers, dresses, accessories. You can do those pretty quickly, I reckon.
That's true. I just noticed that. I didn't know what that was. I just noticed then there was a Yankee candle. I don't know what it was. It was like a leather pouch. So I don't know what that would have been
It's
for.
a pouch
like
to keep all your candles in when you travel.
Are you taking the Michael out of me?
Yeah, 100%.
You're extracting the urine, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Okay.
Do you carry your candles around?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like candles that much, but if they did a candle holder or a holster, because you never know when you need to get it out.
This is, I always say this wrong. How do you say it?
Marge?
No,
it's not. This is a Marge. It's not Marge at all. It's what's it called?
M-A-E-V-E.
Mauve?
I always say Maeve.
Mauve? Either way, I thought that was Marge. No, it's not.
It is a brand you can find in Anthropology. I do like to pick it up if it's cheap. It's a good bread and butter, £25 to £35, depending on the item, depending on the piece. Bit more for dresses, bit more for coats, bit more for knitwear. You know what I'm saying?
That lady just on the left there, if you want to go back and watch that, she was really into her phone. I don't know what was going on there, but she was really into her phone. Just thought I'd mention that.
This is a reselling video.
Yeah, but listen, people still, you can still notice things. Like, you can understand how orange that lady's hair is.
It was really
That's very
cool,
orange,
actually.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So you noticed it. I'm saying people they're not blind to what they're watching.
Oxfam. I'm loving Oxfams at the moment.
You say that every time you go into an Oxfam. It's so annoying.
I don't know what it is, but I'm really vibing. They smell like incense. They sell Tony's chocolate.
They do. Do you think it's the fact that, like, they sell incense, so they kind of have some by the desk? Because it always smells great.
That's why, Austin.
Okay, it's like kind of
fair trade.
It's fair trade.
Yeah. But mainly, Oxfams are mainly records, music, and media, and books nowadays.
So this is a Zenga blazer, but it's a kind of full line, but it's probably 90s. Yeah, it is 90s. It's 3-button blazer, which aren't exactly the most fashionable of blazers right now. Although we did buy a YSL the other day, and once again, it had some redeeming features. It was blue, and it was also pinstripe.
It was blue.
Yeah, but navy style's better than that colour, for example, in a three. Anyway, that's the label you want to find. Z Zenga, they do coats. This is £10,000. So the Z Zenga brand, that's obviously brand new, but that does very, very well. We picked up a tech piece from them recently, and
yeah, the tech pieces,
they go really, really well.
Basically, anything contemporary, anything like that you would expect, like a hedge fund manager to wear.
Yeah, see, once again, this blazer, this is Hugo Boss blazer, once again, 3-button as well. But anything that, like, would be of recent times, like, you can see that was like a Rodney Trotter, you know, that's that kind of vibe from that kind of era. This is really cool. I've never seen LL Bean in more of like a smart casual kind of vibe, which I thought was cool. Nice coat. I think it was like $10.99, something like that, yeah. Which is a decent price. But once again, if I'm buying LL Bean, that's not the kind of thing I'm buying from LL Bean.
No, 100%.
What are these, Bethany?
It's completely irrelevant. That's a
Andor?
No, the first one was a mint velvet children's wear, and I don't buy a lot of children's wear. I like to buy children's wear with resale though if I do buy it. Mint velvet children's wear does quite well. Like, it doesn't set the world on fire, but if you're looking at going into children's wear or you're looking at selling your children's wear clothing, it's a great brand for Vinted because it's a high quality children's high.
What is it called? They got like a little
called Minty.
Yeah, Minty, because it's like a mini. Yeah, that's really cool.
The other one was which is a you can find at John Lewis. John Lewis brands always sell really well. That was just a plain basic t-shirt, $2.99. Once again, great bread and butter, £25, 20 quid on Vinted. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt.
Orange here again.
We're going into an RSPCA, and we all know how I feel about RSPCA.
Is that bad?
I want RSPCA to contact me and say, look, I know you don't like us, but please come and shop here for free every day.
No, they don't need to say that. That would be terrible.
I might raise it then. Anyway,
no, I do know what you mean, because I don't know.
I just need an update. I feel like I know people are gonna say it's a charity, like donations, blah blah blah. It's a retail business. They make money.
Yeah, and I also think, without being too kind of harsh, the truth of the matter is, so are all the others. Like all the other charity shops, but they seem to step their game up. So why not them?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Big up all the others. Into the menswear. Anything? Have you found anything, Austin?
Nothing at all. Why am I even looking at this point?
Well, it's your choice to go to menswear, so you need to start commentating over the menswear.
All right, so this is a beautiful red jumper that I've just gone past because I have no interest in whatsoever. This is another piece that I'm going to pass. Oh, hang on. Have we got? No, not at all. We're going to move on. I can see River Island in the distance there, and we're going to push these across, move on, and see what you found. Are we going to do that? No, push it. Excuse me. Coming through.
I probably haven't found anything. It's an RSPCA.
So I think this was, I want to say this was Diesel hanging. Was it Diesel? Yes, it was Diesel. Was it Diesel? Am I lying? Yeah, I can't see. It's Diesel. I can't remember. Oh. It was a waxed Western shirt though. And
That's
it was like 25 something.
See, if you can pick up these pieces from Diesel at reasonable prices,
that would sell, wouldn't it?
There is a really good market for them.
Like, that's a £50 shirt, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So Saving Grace found this on the way out. So this is a Somerset by Alice Templey. This is her ready-to-wear brand that you can purchase in John Lewis. It was £3.50. New with tags. I've listed it for £35. This is an Iro jumper. Iro are best known for their leather jackets. Their leather jackets are really expensive and they sell really well. It's more of an American aid market brand, but I have sold our Iro jackets for $350 plus used. So it sells really well. That's a knit, £5, and I'd be looking to get 50 back for it. And then last but not least in this shop is a Sweaty Betty's, just a plain activewear t-shirt. People are always looking for plain activewear t-shirts. You don't have to get the ones with all the shimmy shaz on them.
The shimmy shaz. If they're cheap enough as well, let's be honest, we're resellers, right? If they're cheap enough, pick them up, they'll sell. Simple as that.
I just did a sale on our eBay shop, which we'll talk about in another video, and never done a sale before, and all the Sweaty Betty just went.
There you go.
It just flew out.
Yeah, that's insane actually, because once again, I think they're reasonable prices to start with, but then you put a sale on them, boom.
Yeah, and it's the time of year, January. If you just want to offload gym stuff and activewear stuff cheap, then it is the time of year to do it.
Sales. Bye.